Hey, folks, here we are. It is Tuesday, March 2nd, 2021. It is the new roaring 20s of this century. As 100 years ago, the roaring 20s of the last century, the turmoil is still there, may be called different things, maybe involve different things, but be assured, turmoil and challenges and the wonders of life are still there. Hi, I'm Tom Young, and we're here today to promote Money Shifts on podcasts and Facebook Live here for the financial mastery program that I have developed through the recent book that I wrote, The Family Money Farm, the CFO Project. So with that being said, we start every presentation as of late by prayers. We give our prayers out for all people. Everybody has been affected by this COVID in some way, shape, or form. And our prayers, our heartfelt prayers, go out for all those people. We also want to pray for all the loved ones that have been lost and all those who have lost loved ones. I pray that the Lord opens his arms and gathers those people into his heaven above. With that being said, let's get started. And we're continuing our journey this month of March. March is a transition month. You know, in weather, in where I'm at in Western Pennsylvania, the first day of spring is the 21st of March. So this is the changeover from winter to spring in this month. And with that being said, I want to make sure that you understand that this is the time of your life where you need to start stretching that thinking muscle. I know you have dreams and goals. I know there are things in life that you want to accomplish and things that you want to do. This is the way to plan them out. Set goals. We talked about goals this week and last week, and now we're talking about self-fulfillment. And really, it comes down to one main ingredient, folks. It's your self-image. That's the thing that really drives almost everything else, is our self-image. Because the person that looks back in the mirror, the you that you see in the mirror, is very, very powerful in determining where you go. If you are carrying guilt around from something that you did in the past, let it go. Believe that God is a forgiving God. And if you are truly sorry for what you did, it's time to move on. If you look in old biblical history and some of the people that the Lord picked out as leaders, they were not all nice people. They were murderers and everything else. That they were people that God saw goodness in. And I believe that resides in each and every one of us. The whole purpose, my purpose for what I'm doing on here every day and the coaching for people is to make a difference, because growth has to occur in life so that you can make a contribution to humanity, to other people, to change other people's lives. It is that simple of an equation. Is personal growth is absolutely required in order to become successful. And by successful, it's not about I, me, and my, folks. It's about you and others. The personal growth that I have chased and worked on and cajoled and studied and memorized and all of the things I have done for my sole purpose of being better at what I do to help other folks, to make a contribution to society, to offer up information and knowledge that has the possibilities of changing a lot of lives. 30 years ago, I went through a period of time was almost the end of the world for me. And God led me to a guy named Jody Victor that literally changed my life. You know why? Because he believed in me when I didn't believe in myself. And that is the challenge we all have. That's why there is so much. This wonderful book, Psycho-Cybernetics and Self-Fulfillment, is a wonderful book. Your self-image, there's an anagram here that he created, and I'm going to read it to you. I don't like to read to you very much, but I'm going to read it to you. Your self-image, each letter, Y is you or somebody else. Now, what do I mean by that? You or somebody else. It's really you looking back in the mirror. You have to accept that. It isn't somebody else. Stop trying to be somebody else because you don't like who you are or who you were or what you did in the past. Get over it. Obey or oppose. We have to obey the circumstances around us. We have to be part of the big picture, the big plan, so to speak. You know, that's why we have, you know, why did God give us the 10 Commandments? And so many places in the world are working hard to push God out of society. And you know what I believe? The more that we push God out of our society, the more terrible things are going to come upon us. Because you know what it does? When we use the laws of God in our lives, we are better people. We treat other people better. We don't lie, cheat, and steal. We see opportunity as good things because the laws and rules of the Lord above give us courage. It gives us a great self-image, and on and on. Unbelief or understanding. You know, there's an old saying, don't try to understand others until you actually understand yourself. You know, Will Rogers, great American philosopher, and I'm paraphrasing here, he said, it's not so much what people know, it's what people think they know that just ain't so. And we all have to think that way. You know, we've been over this in Think and Grow Rich. We talked about being angry at somebody else and carrying a grudge or whatever. And it comes down to that philosophy of walking a mile in the other person's shoes, because their opinion is their opinion. Their opinion was developed in their life by their experiences, not yours or mine or anybody else's. So it's just so important. Resentment or reason. Resentment only leads to negativity. We need to reason in our mind the right thing, the right answer. Because resentment, being resentful of other people, envious of other people, none of those things are good for our own psyche. You know, psycho-cybernetics, that's what we're talking about here. Stranger or friend. Do you see yourself as a stranger or a friend? Because remember, if you cannot love yourself, the person looking back in the mirror, you will struggle at trying to love others. And the world revolves around loving others. Really does. It really does, because it keeps you on the right path. It leads you to be the right example for others. And that is so missing in our society today. The example that is created by our politicians, And I didn't pick one side or the other. I just said our politicians, they all need to wake up and realize how bad they're hurting America. And when I say America, I say all of us. We are America. We are America. The next one is enthusiasm or extinction. I don't want to be extinct, folks. I am probably one of the most enthusiastic people that you're ever going to meet in your lifetime. I am in love with what I do with a passion. I know I can change your life and others. That is what it's really all about, because all of this stuff that I'm going over are the things in my life in the last 30 years that have brought me out of the deep, dark cave I was in 30 years ago. This isn't a free lunch, folks. It takes work. But remember, growth is not optional. You either decide to grow you into the person that you should be or want to be, or the world will grow you into what they want you to be. They will use you up and spit you out, and they will render you useless to your future. That's what it's about. I cringe when I read the headlines sometimes, and I read about some of the awful things that people do, some of the awful things that happen in other governments and in other countries. How can that be? Because you know what? We have free will. You can choose. You know, on your shoulder sits this little white angel, and over here is the dark angel, you know? There they are, and they're whispering in your ear constantly. You have to look at what you're being fed. If you listen to the good side more than the bad side, then things will be great in your life. You have to make that decision. It's just a decision away. Live or perish. You know, if you live an acceptable level of mediocrity without real growth or anything, you might as well be dead, because you are going to perish. You're going to perish mentally first. You're going to die mentally. And I don't necessarily mean the disease of dementia or those type of things, although it's sort of like that, isn't it? If you don't have any real ambition or nothing really that you're trying to accomplish, and everything we do in life, folks, is for everybody else. If nothing more than the example you set for those that are around you. I mean, that was a talk I gave several years ago called Be the Example. And that's really what it was. And I look back in my life and I look at the examples that were set before me by a lot of people, by my parents and friends friends at school, so-called friends, people that you thought was your friend that really wasn't. Remember, there are three kinds of people in life. Three. The one person that they're just out to get you. We've all met those people. No matter what you do or whatever, they're just out to get you. It's their nature. They're out to get you. The other kind of person, number two, is the person that is, well, they're neither for you, they're neither against you, they're just there. You know, they do their thing, they're just there. And then the third kind of person is the kind of person that we come upon not very often. They are people that truly care about others. They have empathy, not sympathy. They have empathy. What's the difference? Sympathy is easy. Oh, I can feel bad for somebody. But empathy is when I feel bad, but I do something about it, which is what I believe this is all about. I know there are people out there that listen to me that are in dire need. And I wish I was a gazillionaire and I would pass all that on, but I'm not. So my goal is to touch lives along the way, help people find a better way in life. And I know when they do, they will do better things for other people. And that's a hard road because, there are no requirements here to listen to me and to pass these on. I just simply ask that you share my messages. You share this location, the Family Money Farm group. We need to grow this group because this is the only way that I'm going to be able to fulfill my dream and desire to touch 1 million lives before I die with this information. I don't know what they call it, when you go on here and all of a sudden it explodes and people. I don't know. I believe this message is pure and right. We will continue this journey. Time is out for today, and we will continue our journey. Tomorrow is number 8, Fact or Fiction. I'm going to mark my book so we know right where to start tomorrow when I come back. But get my book, The Family Money Farm, The CFO Project. You get it at Amazon, Barnes & Noble. You can message me here. We'll make arrangements to get you an autographed copy, and you can pay for it through a PayPal. We'll work that out one way or the other. Now, if you're on the internet, obviously you have access to the internet. You can go to cfo-project.com. There's the address, cfo-project.com. Put in your email address, and you will get an instant link to a full PDF download of my new book. You can also visit firstconsultantsinc.com. If you go here and sign in, there is a free book over there, and the book over here is Life Insurance, Will It Pay When I Die? It was the first book I wrote several years ago. It has been now republished in a new version because I've added some more material to it. So you need to check it out. There are lots of free stuff out there. I just want to change your life, folks, and these are the ingredients that will help you do that. If you go to cfo-project.com and get that, my new book download, there's also an opportunity there to start investing in your future, in your thinking muscle. There are 4 other books over there: Jumpstart Your Financial Freedom, Live Your Life Insurance by Kim Butler. I wrote the foreword to the book on there. Life Insurance, Will It Pay When I Die? And R. Nelson Nash's book, The Infinite Banking Concept. And what is over there is part 1, which are the principles that underlie the infinite banking concept, becoming your own banker. This is the beginning, folks. It's time to take charge of who you want to be. God bless you. And I will see you here tomorrow. God bless America. And we will get out of this mess that we seem to be in right now, one way or the other. So we'll see you tomorrow around noon. God bless.